It's 5:45 p.m., which means it's time for BCTV's Nightly News Roundup. I'm Roland Boyden, and this is a little show we like to call 5:45 Live. I'm flying solo tonight at the helm of what I like to think of as a sizzling stir-fry of rock and romance. Let's take a quick look at what's coming up tonight as we get ready to kick off the Brattleboro Select Board meeting. We'll talk more about jumping right into that programming. But first, weekend roundup, Basketville plans. The governor opens the bypass. All right, all that and more. We do it in 15 minutes. Hopefully it'll be a little bit less than that today based on our exquisite start. All that and more. Stick with us here on 5:45 Live.
Ways the reading of the charges for rule, ways device rights number 5, please not guilty of charges.
Welcome back to this September 4th, 2012 edition of 5:45 Live. I'm Roland Boyd, and I'll be taking you through the next 14 minutes or so, rolling into the regularly scheduled 6 o'clock news. Plenty of good stuff coming up on BCTV, including 2 municipal meetings split between 8 and 10. I've got BCTV Operations Manager Vlasta Popelka waiting patiently downstairs, where we'll beam in live in just a moment to talk a little bit more about that. But first, that was footage of the arraignment of Frank Caraballo, who was charged with the murder of Melissa Jenkins. He was last week indicted on federal murder charges, putting him back in the news stratosphere. And with that, we'll jump into our newsroom, where we get to take a look at some of the things that are coming up here as part of our Reformer Roundup. This is where we take a look at some of the things that have been in Brattleboro's daily paper, just summarize them a little bit. And we'll start here with a federal energy inspector who will visit Putney, Vermont tomorrow as part of an initiative to implement renewable energy in the region. The inspector will be examining a 6.1-acre area of land on Route 5. It's previously been owned as a wood mill, paper mill, and basket factory. It's been unused since 2002, which is a long haul. You can learn more about that visiting the Reformer as we sum up these storylines. And with that, we'll jump on over to the Brattleboro Retreat. On September 15th, we'll host a gala dinner to announce a newly created endowment fund. The retreat, which has operated for 178 years, believe it or not, plans to use the endowment to continue operating several of the programs, including its intensive therapy program for members of the armed services and its LGBT community education. I've got one more for you here as we shift our graphics a little bit. Road maintenance will begin on Brattle Street on September 7th. That work's going to include installation of new asphalt along the right side of the road, work on some driveways. It's going to mean there's no parking. Again, that's on the 7th, and I've got a phone number here for more information if you're trying to figure out the details of that project, 802-254-4255. That's a look at our Reformer Roundup. Now, the thing is that if you want more information, you gotta head to reformer.com. Don't even need the Brattleboro. They've also got a smartphone app, and of course you can get yourself a subscription. Get your hands on some real rainforest there, as I'm sure they'd appreciate. All right, that's enough of that chit-chat and shenanigans. We'll move on by talking about the weekend. Of course, we now broadcast Tuesdays and Fridays. That means on Friday we get to sum up all the happenings from the week. And on Tuesday, we get to come back and talk about some of the many bevy of events that always seem to fall into the lap of the Brattleboro area over the weekend. We're going to start with a look at the Brattleboro Savings and Loan Community Appreciation Day, which was this past Thursday. Plenty of free food, including some that I got for myself. We talked to the president and CEO of the Savings and Loan, Dan Yates, about the event.
Every year, this time of year, we get together, cook up hamburgers, hot dogs, veggie burgers. It's our way of saying thank you to Brattleboro. Not just our customers, the entire community. Because without the community, we wouldn't be here.
Moving on, we'll go back into the newsroom here for a moment. If I can cue that up. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And take a look at our next story written by our brand new intern, Justin Harrison, who's beamed in from Marlborough College to do some work on us. He's been writing many of the words you'll hear pour from my mouth as if they're my own thoughts. and he'll be doing plenty more work for us as well all through the fall. All right, where's my graphic? All right, Alicia Brailsford Dana, a Putney native who was paralyzed from the waist down after falling from a tree during her senior year of high school, is competing in the London 2012 Paralympic Games. Brailsford Dana, who began hand cycling shortly after the development of bikes for the leg disabled in the late 1990s, competed in the Hand Cycling World Championship in Germany in 2001. And after a decade away from the sport spent raising her daughter, she returned to the competition in 2011, and in June 2012 was selected to be part of the U.S. women's paracycling race team. You can follow it on their YouTube channel. You can search it at youtube.com. And with that, we'll go out of the newsroom. If I can get my, there we go. And move on to our next story down the line. Brattleboro Housing Authority is tearing down some buildings, putting up some new buildings. It's been controversial, but there's plenty of information out there to sort through it, figure it out for yourself. They had a special meeting last week. Among the topics included was that of how you work with your current properties that you already own. Let's take a look.
One of the heaviest weighted items is ownership. You know, is your ability to secure a piece of land, and the fact that we have 3 housing authority owned parcels really rose through those 3 parcels to the top. It's just natural that it does.
Next, wouldn't be 545 Live if we didn't check in with the governor. He's been busy as always. He's recently done something I think is quite spectacular, which is cut the ribbon on the Bennington bypass. Now, anybody that's tried to get from Albany, New York back to Brattleboro knows that you can really get sunk driving through Bennington. They've had road work to circumvent the town for many years now, but Shumlin was there to unveil that bypass. As we take a look, this is courtesy of his Facebook page, where you can follow everything that's going on with the governor, including his YouTube channel, where we pull quite a lot of videos in our own right. Bennington Bypass is open. And with that, we'll jump into another one of Vermont's politicians. Long-running Senator Patrick Leahy is back on YouTube after a brief hiatus. He's got an A-game media team queuing up his videos. And we've got that story for you here as well, as I get all my ducks in a row technology-wise here. It's been nearly 4 months since the Senate passed the Leahy-Crepo Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act of 2011 with 68 votes, but without the House of Vermont's, without the, well, here's what Vermont's tenured senator says. He's still looking for answers after it was not passed in the House of Representatives. In his latest YouTube post, Leahy spoke about the importance of the bill and his frustration with the Republican leadership in the House, saying that Republicans, what they're claiming as a technicality, is just an excuse to again ignore the crisis facing women across the nation every day.
The Republican leadership in the House insists on ignoring victims and the voices of the professionals in the field. Actually, many voices in both the Republican and Democratic Party, and continues to delay this crucial legislation on a technicality. Technicality is certainly waived over and over and over again since I've been here in the Senate.
Pat Leahy discussing the Leahy-Crepo Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act. First got through the Senate on his hand in 2011, but still waiting for the technicalities to be sorted out. A few things left before we wrap up for the evening. It's going to be a jam-packed night for BCTV viewers. We're going to have a Vernon Select Board meeting on Channel 10 coming up at 6:30. It's got a brand new widescreen setup. Just put a bunch of money into a new rig down there. Be sure to check that out. But got the Brattleboro Select Board, BCTV's flagship programming. I've got more about that from BCTV Operations Manager Vlasta Popelka, so hopefully we can get her live. She's been standing by ever so patiently downstairs. Let's see what I can get going for us here. Vlasta, tell us a little bit about this Select Board meeting. You've got the mic. give it a go.
The meeting is almost ready to start. It will be in regular time, 6:15. The only change is that it will be on channel 8, not on 10. Vernon Select Board meeting will be on 10. So stay tuned on this channel where you are just watching 545.
What does the meeting agenda look like tonight, Vlasta?
It looks like short agenda, but you never know. There might be some long discussion on police fire project financials or paint the pavement pilot project. So stay tuned to find out. Back to you, Roland.
Thanks, Vlasta. BCTV Operations Manager and 545 Live Wrangler, Vlasta Popelka, live in the Brattleboro Select Board meeting room, where as soon as I wrap this show, I'm going to grab these very cameras you're watching me in right now, haul them downstairs, and we're going to get that kicked off starting at 6:15 with WTSA's Tim Johnson as he reads the meeting agenda. All right, that's full load for me, everybody. Thanks for checking in. But before we wrap, I'll take a moment to shamelessly plug BCTV, as I often do. You can find information to find out for yourself without the shameless plugging at BrattleboroTV.org, where there's schedules, live streaming, video on demand for all local programming, plenty of good stuff like that. So if you want to check out, of course, we mentioned the Select Board meeting coming up right here, Channel 8, 6:15. But there's also a program, recognition of Robert Gannett, who recently passed away, a longtime Windham County rep and senator. Starts at 6 p.m. in just a matter of moments, shall we say, minutes. You can check that out again, all that information at BrattleboroTV.org. All right, that's full lit, everybody. Thanks to my new intern, Justin Harris, who's been working hard at getting a script in here, making it sound like I know what I'm talking about, at least in some small capacity. Vlasta Popelka, who has agreed to be on camera in addition to all the work she does behind the scenes, operations manager there for BCTV as well. Of course, our content specialist, Paige Martin, Ian Keel, Maria Dominguez, and all you out there that watch BCTV, and to our new studio sponsors, the Brattleboro Retreat, who've agreed to sponsor all happenings in our brand new HD studio, which will hopefully bring some high-definition furniture, set pieces, and the rest to spiff up what's turning out to be quite a fun space here. So thanks again to them. All right, that's enough chit-chat from me. I'll be back Friday when we'll go live to Gallery Walk downtown. We'll do our 7-town summary, rounding up all the municipal happenings in BCTV's outlying towns, all that and more. In the meantime, for BCTV and 545 Live, I'm Roland Boyden. Night, everybody.